Glyphosate, the chemical that became a system, most people think it's just an herbicide, a chemical used to kill weeds. But that's not what it is anymore. Glyphosate has become something much bigger. It has become infrastructure. It was also the chemical that killed my first cousin, Lori Stoller, who died of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after having been exposed to it. She wasn't even 25. We weren't just cousins, we were close friends, and then she decided to become a farm worker. Hello, I am Dr. K. Paul Stoller. Modern agriculture doesn't just use glyphosate, it is built around it. Seed genetics, planting schedules, labor decisions, equipment, design, financial models, all coordinated around a single chemical. Remove glyphosate, and the entire system starts to shake. This isn't just a product, it's a system design problem. Most debates about glyphosate ask, is it safe or is it dangerous? But that's the wrong question, because even if it were completely safe, we would still have a problem. The real issue is this: we built an entire agricultural system that depends on one solution. And systems like that don't fail gradually, they fail all at once. In the 1990s, genetically engineered crops were introduced that could survive glyphosate. Farmers could spray fields, kill everything else, and leave their crops untouched. It was simple, efficient, scalable. Glyphosate replaced complex crop rotations, intensive labor, deep local knowledge. It allowed fewer farmers to manage more land. And in an industry driven by tight margins, that mattered. But simplicity created dependence. Over time, three forms of lock-in emerged: operational lock-in farming equipment, labor, and timing, all adapted to glyphosate-based systems. Market lock-in seed and chemical companies consolidated power. Farmers had fewer real choices. Knowledge lock-in research and regulation focused on isolated ingredients, not real-world chemical mixtures. The system began reinforcing itself, even when problems became obvious. One of those problems was inevitable: resistance. When you apply the same chemical over and over, nature adapts, weeds evolve, glyphosate-resistant species emerge. This wasn't an accident, it was a predictable biological response, and now the system is fighting its own consequences. Beyond resistance, deeper issues are emerging: soil health, microbial ecosystems, long-term fertility. Glyphosate disrupts the biology of the soil itself, the invisible systems that make agriculture possible. And when those systems degrade, famine is inevitable. In 2026, the U.S. government moved to prioritize glyphosate production under national security policy. Why? Because agriculture now depends on it. That decision reveals something deeper. A system that cannot function without one input is not efficient. It is vulnerable. Many propose simple solutions: replace glyphosate with another chemical, tweak regulations, adjust application methods, but that doesn't solve the real problem. Because the problem isn't the molecule, it's the system built around it. I am highly allergic to peanuts, thanks to the fact that they used to make vaccines using peanut oil. They never fessed up to creating the peanut allergy epidemic and quietly removed it, but guess what is in vaccines now? Private individuals have tested multiple vaccines for glyphosate contamination. Those few vaccines that were free of contamination were not manufactured from live virus grown on gelatin. MMR had at least 9 times as much glyphosate as any of the other vaccines. It should be the responsibility of the CDC, not random citizens, to perform such tests. And what do you think is happening? Yep, glyphosate allergies, an unrecognized ailment blamed on gluten. Replacing one chemical with another is not the answer. Just recreates the same dependency. True change requires redesign: diversified cropping systems, regenerative agriculture, restored soil biology, reduced chemical dependence, and most importantly, economic structures that support those changes, because farmers don't operate on ideology, they operate on survival. Glyphosate didn't take over agriculture by accident. It was efficient, it was scalable, it worked until it didn't. But now we face a deeper reality. We didn't just adopt a chemical, we built a system that cannot function without it. And any system that depends on a single point of failure, is not strong, it's brittle. It's not about one chemical, it's about the system we built around it.